CEOs are bragging about shrinking headcount at their companies, including Wells Fargo.
July layoffs spiked 140% year over year with more than 62,000 cuts.
AI is being used as an excuse. Tariffs are being used as an excuse. The weather is being used as an excuse.
So we got to define work or burnout, number one. But it's at an all-time high, as in 51% all-time high. Honestly, I think that's a low number. I think it's much higher. Workers using AI report a 25-point drop in burnout and a 16-point boost in career control over non-users.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Ryan Leary, William Tincup here with another episode of The Bars. William, what's going on today?
It's a beautiful day, and my youngest, Alice, is in the throes of two-a-days. Do you remember two-a-days?
Oh, I do, and you know what? I liked them back then.
I did too.
We had thought of it now.
Oh, no. Oh, are you kidding me? I got to pick them up tonight, and I'm not even looking forward to that. But
it's going to be stinky.
Last night he came home and he said, yeah, I got leveled 11 times in a row. And I'm like, yeah, that's about right.
Now get in the shower.
That's exactly what I said to him. I'm like, all right, so first of all, wash your clothes. Second of all, go take a shower.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the throes of two-a-days in Texas football. Texas high school football is the thing. It's just one of those bits. Every state's got something like that. Iowa's like wrestling, like it's if you don't wrestle, something's wrong with you.
We have swimming and water polo here.
See, every state's got something like that. In Texas, it is football. And this is the first year he's ever played. So he's never played a down of football.
Nice. Well, good for him.
Like he's played Madden, but he's never played a down
counts.
of football.
That counts. Here, it's like we didn't have pools where I grew up. Right. They go to a public pool, paying.
Right.
And that type of thing. Yeah. But here I am giving swimming instructions to the girls. Like, no, none of that stuff. Water polo, that stuff.
I couldn't tell you how to play water polo to save my life. Like
catch a ball, throw a ball, tread water. That's all I know. That's all I know. All right. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
We got some fun stories, man.
We do. I took a different path this week, actually.
Let's warn.
Yeah, I did some product stuff and things like that I was looking at, which interests me. So why don't you kick us off?
All right. How a photo of a barricade that Blackstone employees erected to shield themselves from a deadly shooter in office went viral. This is Business Insider. So if you want to go read the article, it's actually really wonderful, but it reminded me, again, gun violence. We could probably have 2 shows about that, but I hate that we're in this place, from a corporate kind of HR perspective with gun violence, but it's probably something HR and ops needs to standardize the practice and protocols so that folks know what to do.
Right.
If or when these events happen. So stopping the events, again, we can have a long conversation about gun violence, but I think just as we have a disaster kind of recovery plan for data, we have a fire plan for getting people out of a building. We probably need to have protocols on, okay, if this happens, this is where you go. This is how this happens. Barricade, do this, do that. Like whatever the bid is, probably bring in a consultant and make sure you have a really good protocol in place in case an active shooter happens.
Just, it is what it is. I mean, we have them in schools. Everyone does now, right? They have the special bolt locks and bars, and they teach everybody. No. All right. I've got one here. This is a SharePoint story. Remember SharePoint?
Good.
Yeah,
it's still around.
I always forget SharePoint is still a thing. In fairness, I haven't used SharePoint in 15 years. So I'm guessing it's a little better. I don't know. Anyhow, Chinese state-backed hackers are hitting unpatched or on-prem SharePoint servers. So we're not talking about SharePoint in the cloud. We're talking about companies that, for whatever reason, are still hosting SharePoint on-prem.
Which is usually the most vulnerable of industries, meaning it's data sensitive, defensive contractors, healthcare, finance.
Exactly.
If you're still using on-prem, it doesn't mean you're not an innovator.
No, it just means you need to manually update your stuff and keep it secure. And we know that's not happening. And so, so these are things that's happening. And this is also hitting the Fed as well. So, it's interesting stories. SharePoint.
Chinese state-backed hackers. Can you be in China and not be state-backed? Like, can
Probably
you
not.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's same with Russia too, or North Korea. Like if you're a hacker in North Korea, you are sponsored by the government.
I want to know how many state-backed hackers we have.
Good
There's
God. Come on now.
we don't have any.
There's
So,
whole
move on.
cities. All right. CEOs are bragging about shrinking headcount at their companies, including Wells Fargo. CEO Charlie Scharf, who said the bank's workforce had decreased by 23% over the last 20 quarters. That's 5 years for the non-math measures. And it's using that as attrition is our friend. So this is the Wall Street Journal. So, if it hits the Wall Street Journal, it's a good thing and a bad thing. So for me, it's a little too early to take victory laps around headcount reduction.
Yeah.
The economy sucks. People are suffering, and work was something you could count on. At a certain point, you get out of high school, you get out of college. Like, I'm going to get a job. Might not be the job that I want,
But you can get a job.
but I get a job. And that's becoming harder and harder for people.
It is, yeah.
So it's a little tone deaf. It's also kind of reminds me of the Microsoft thing from last quarter, their biggest quarter in company history, and they also had layoffs.
And they also had layoffs, yeah.
It's like,
Well,
okay,
but they were reassessing and redistributing capital.
yeah, they're gonna make, but it's the biggest quarter. Think of a company that's 40 plus years old, biggest quarter ever. They probably shouldn't have had layoffs. They probably, take a quarter off.
Yeah. And then go back, yeah.
And then go back and
then go back to it. Oh, there you go. All right. So speaking of layoffs, July layoffs spiked 140% year over year with more than 62,000 cuts. So 2 things, AI disruptions and tariffs are to blame. Well, that's what people are saying, right? For me, this is, outside of the layoffs and all that stuff, this is an upskill versus downsize thing for me.
Yeah.
AI is obviously the scapegoat in layoffs just across the board now. I don't think that's going to change. Tariffs, AI, all that stuff. The people feel it. People at these companies are feeling this, and companies are leaning into AI to justify the cuts, similar to what you were just saying with Microsoft.
Right.
Because they reallocated into AI and investments and all this other stuff. Honestly, man, I still think in many cases, it's just shitty planning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just bad planning, poor planning, and just...
If you want to do, first of all, revenue's down. So let's talk about the other side of the equation. Revenue's down, so your profit has to still be a certain percentage. So you got to cut costs. So what's your biggest cost? Okay,
people.
For a lot of companies, it's going to be the labor cost, and so you're going to reduce their labor. So whether or not you're infusing that with AI or not, I don't believe that shit for a moment. I think that it's revenues down. Okay, we still need to make a certain amount of profit, especially if you're a publicly traded company. There's even more pressure for those folks because that profit has to go up. It can't go down.
You don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice.
Unless you're a massive tech company and you can lose billions over years.
It's one of those deals. It's paper money, right? But at one point, you got to get that back in alignment. And so, I think AI is being used as an excuse. Mm-hmm. Tariffs are being used as an excuse. The weather is being used as an excuse. It's just an excuse.
Same as COVID. When COVID came, it was like, thank God, now we can get rid of 40,000 fucking people.
We're going to right size.
Yeah, we're going to right size. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a horrible consulting term. So we'll go back to China. I love how Trump says China. It's one of my favorite. China, like he's real hard. Anyhow, wages in China grew just 3.8% year over year in the second quarter, marking the country's slowest growth since the pandemic, according to assessment by Goldman Sachs. This was on Bloomberg. Okay, I don't believe shit that comes out of China as their masters of mis and disinformation.
Did you say you have a master's in mis and disinformation?
No, they do.
Oh, they said you do. I'm like,
China, they're masters, absolute, and they have been historically. They're masters of mis and disinformation, but even better than us. But I do believe Goldman Sachs, so I do trust them as when they do things, when they say, "Yeah, this is ish what it was." So where will they get their growth? What it made me think of when I read that was like, okay, they got the same pressures we do. So they have to grow their economy. So how are they going to grow their economy? And China's facing something that's really interesting because of their one-child policy for so many years. They have, it's 6-to-1 male to female. So they don't have enough females. So they're facing a different problem than we're facing in the labor market where, okay, who are these folks? How are they going to marry? How are they going to have kids? So like longer term, like they didn't do the math, which you'd assume China would be pretty good at the math. That's a stereotype, of course, but they didn't do the math on that policy because it basically preference was given to a male child, right? Well, okay, at one point that comes back to bite you. So that's going to be really interesting. But back to the story is, okay, where are they going to get their growth? Where are they going to get their numbers back? Is it related to AI in any way? Is it going to be they're going to get their growth by putting people into AI jobs?
Yeah,
but they're going to have to get their
somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah. All right, Harry. Remember Harry? Harry's a good company. Hari, I know I always say Harry. I don't know why I do that. So Hari teams up with Poster Elite. I like this. I actually really like this one. To automate labor law poster compliance for restaurant operators. So both physical and digital postings across locations.
I remember these.
Yeah. So these are, like digital signage for compliance. I mean, things that we don't think about every day because we're just not in that business, right? But these laws change all the 180 changes in 2024 alone in compliance laws for these types of locations. So anyhow, they are now partnering with Poster Elite. Poster Elite will monitor and make all the changes and digital signage and all that stuff at all of these employers for the workforce. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Great partnership. And yeah, I love it.
Well, it's back in the day, you could buy them through a third party or you can buy them from the state or whatever.
Yeah.
But basically, they'd send you the poster, and you could pin it up in the break room. Right, and that basically would stay that way. You get one a year, maybe.
It'd be a couple years.
Sometimes you skip
I remember them rolled up at the bottom because they were so old and they were yellowing on the side. No, this is.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty here, so I should statute of limitations.
Anything in the break room stays. Way too long.
Way too long. But I do like the digital part because you put up a frame that's digital and you basically now can feed it the updates.
Yeah.
And it's actually a little bit more interactive.
How's the digital work again? You put a frame up and...
Yeah. Do you have picture frames in your house that are digital?
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. You were explaining how the digital sign would look.
No, I mean, I think it would be more interesting, especially if they had something that's breaking it up, like screenshot, like screensavers or something. Like it's not boring. It's not the same thing that you're looking at every day when you're having your, sandwiches. It's like it's something different.
I guess. There you go. Digital signage. Good job.
100%. Hari. More than 84% of business travelers consider traveling for their job a perk, while 80% of companies see it as an attraction and retention tool. This was put out by AmericanExpress.com, so you can go there and read the whole article. My response in reading the article was, what the actual fuck? Horseshit. Business travel is a pain in the ass. It takes you away from your family, your friends, your hobbies. Perk? We're talking about perks. Increase my pay 25%. decrease my workload, add headcount to my project, give me more time off. Those are perks.
Yeah.
Business travel is, to me, I don't know how you are, but business travel is not a perk.
Well, to someone who doesn't travel, yeah, it's fun. It can be like, oh, now I can travel. It's a perk.
Is it an age thing? Like not a generational, but like, is it maybe you're not married?
No, I think it's just a thing of I've never traveled for work, and now I'm going to travel for work, and I think there's a status that comes along with it. I think because we get this all the time. We travel a lot, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're going to Vegas. Oh, you're going to San Diego. Oh, you're going here." Let me just tell you about Vegas. Like, yeah, no, $5,000 rooms, and no, like $80 surcharges to order food for them to walk. No,
it's my $40 bottle of Voss water. Thank you.
This is not vacation, people. But I think there is a status that comes with people that travel a lot for work, and I think
so. You see it as a potential perk.
I do, yeah, okay. Yeah, I do, yeah. Not for everybody. I think after they do it for a certain amount of time, not so much.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Okay. Perplexity. We know Perplexity.
We do.
They are in talks with phone makers to pre-install Comet, which is their browser. It's an AI mobile browser. This is actually going to be pretty big. If they pull this off, this will be pretty big. That means that they would be replacing Chrome and Safari and I believe it's with Android, Samsung, whatever, but across the platform. And that is a massive unseating right there. Where does this play into work? So if Comet ships and it's pre-installed in, let's just say, in Android, that can mean that it's living literally in almost every employee's phone as they enter your building to work. That they have access to use AI. Well, they probably have access to it now, but it's pre-installed. And once it's pre-installed, there's 95 other things that come along with that. And so I do think this is something HR, IT, or security, they need to be aware of and they need to work with.
Yeah, the difficulty that they'll have, I believe Safari is owned by Apple. So they're not going to get it on iPhones unless they pay Apple a gazillion dollars. So that's not going to work. Now, Samsung, they might be able to pull that off. But, I think the thing is where you're hitting, for me, where you're hitting on the right thing is your phone is recording everything that you're saying. Like, it's listening to your conversations unless you turn it off. You can turn that off. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but you can actually turn that stuff off. But most people don't.
No, and I honestly, we talked about it the other day. I don't want to anymore. I enjoy getting ads that are relevant to me or things that I'm researching because
you're getting a bunch of insurance ads.
I'm getting a ton of insurance ads right now. Let me just tell you, this is not a fun experiment.
I think the big point of, hey, this is happening at work, whether or not your IT team is addressing it or not, it's happening regardless. Whether or not this transaction happens, it's still happening.
It's going to happen regardless. So,
right. Now, I'm going to make your head explode. You ready?
Explode it.
Quiet cracking is the latest buzzword. I'm going to try to make this through without laughing. Is the latest buzzword to describe a lack of fulfillment at work, often as it pertains to job satisfaction, workloads, or the potential for growth, among other factors. Unlike quiet quitting, it might not manifest as the employee's performance, just their happiness. This is thehill.com, so you go read the whole article there. So I'm going to go hard to paint on this one. Happiness is a personal pursuit. If it aligns with your job/career, that's fantastic. But if it doesn't, get the fuck back to work.
Can I just hit the next story? Quiet cracking.
Quiet cracking, baby. Go quiet cracking on this motherfucker.
Good
Anyhow,
Lord.
I swear to God, read the article and you will be as dismayed as I am, but it's happiness. Happiness. This is the Allen Iverson thing. You can just play that right now.
Practice.
We're talking about happiness. We're talking about happiness. Not the performance.
Yeah. Mental note. We talking about happiness here. No.
So genius.
No interest in reading that story. All right, you ready to do some acquisitions? We had some big ones.
Oh my God. Yeah.
We had a massive acquisition. It requires, I think, some time to talk about.
Let's do it. SAP to acquire Smart Recruiters, integrating innovative talent acquisition portfolio will help customers attract and retain top talent. This is at news.sap.com, so you can kind of read exactly what they said, which I think is important. So when George LaRock first posted about this, on LinkedIn, everybody's kind of trying to be the first to break news. They put out this press release at like 1:20 a.m. on August 1st, and I just so happened to be up, like watching some stuff, I think watching TV or whatever, and I saw it, and I responded to the analyst relations person at SAP. So everyone's in a rush to kind of post about it. George posts about it, and I said, okay, will they be able to retain Rebecca Carr in the long term? She's brilliant. They had Lars Delgard and they had Doug Berg, two other industry innovators. And they failed to keep them. So I like the acquisition because the SuccessFactors ATS was not an excellent experience for the enterprise level clients. Smart Recruiters will, at the very least, fix that. Additionally, I couldn't find disclosed financial terms on the deal.
They haven't released them.
SAP announced what they paid for SuccessFactors, $3.4 billion. Mm-hmm. SAP announced what they paid for Jobs to Web, $1.10 million. So what's up with that? So they're public with these things, at least historically have been. Smart Recruiters, so for the listeners and those that watch us on YouTube, Smart Recruiters was last valued at $1.5 billion against 21 Series E funding. Mm-hmm. That's not an indicator of what SAP paid. It's just a data point. And lastly, on the acquisition, again, on the actual first, but at 1:20 on the fourth. So it's expected to close in the fourth quarter of 25, pending approvals and closing conditions, all that stuff. So I look at it as the rumor mill is that they paid $1 billion or less.
Really?
Yes. They did not. They did not. Now that's the rumor. We won't find out for a while.
Yeah. See, my thought was I figured, okay, they paid a huge chunk for SuccessFactors. I figured it'd be closer to that.
No, I don't think so. Because if it was, it would be announced. In my opinion, it would have been announced.
Announced when it closes.
No, I don't know. If terms aren't disclosed now, they're not going to be disclosed then.
We'll see. I
think it's when it comes out, I think it'll be $1 billion or less. That's we'll do an over under. That's what I'm going to say I'm going to say $1 billion and then go down from there.
That would be disappointing.
I do. It's just.
Not that the people involved are getting paid.
Yeah, everybody's good. Well, no, not the last investors in.
Well, yeah, but that would be disappointing. I would think they go higher.
It's 4 years later, maybe less than 4 years. 4 years later, and that's what they were valued at. So you would hope they would be valued at $2 billion or $2.1 billion or something like that. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah. This is an interesting one for me. They really screwed up the SuccessFactors thing. Like there wasn't anything good that came of that. Come from the brass ring world where innovation went super slow.
Yeah.
How do you do slow with your hand motions? Like
yeah.
Innovation tanked, and Taleo did the same shit when that happened. Yeah. It just stopped. It was gone. Nothing happened. Smart Recruiters, to me, I think is their play into modernization of their recruiting stack.
I don't disagree.
I
don't disagree. It's got to be better than the SuccessFactors ATS.
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to actually integrate. Well, I don't think Smart Recruiters doesn't go away. I think Smart Recruiters remains the same always and forever.
There's a really interesting discussion on whether or not they pull clients from, like, okay, do you have to be an SAP client to use smart recruiters?
No, I don't. No, I think it's good. I mean, Smart Recruiters goes across so many, like the ecosystem, right? Why would they do that? They're baked into these customers now.
So this is interesting because the acquisition of WalkMe. Remember when SAP acquired WalkMe? They, to my knowledge, or to the best of my knowledge, they don't have non-SAP customers.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this
So-
one's a little different, though.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Is it? Because then
Yeah.
it becomes a competitive advantage. If other people, if it's tied in and then you can use it with Workday, or you can use it with,
Uh-huh.
or you can use it with, pick another company, then you don't have a competitive advantage.
well, yeah.
They don't
Let's
need
look at the other
revenue.
way. I mean, they
don't need the
have
revenue.
access. They have access to all of these customers forward facing that they can then move over. I mean, because people aren't going to move from Workday to SAP. They're not. It's not an easy, like that's an investment of time and money. But they can sell Smart Recruiters to people who are using all of these other platforms, right?
I'm going to take the under, just like I did with valuation. I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to say that for a year, it's going to be Smart Recruiters, an SAP company. And then at one point that goes away.
This is going to be a long wait, but I'm gonna flag this moment.
All right.
We should make this a segment over under.
Over under.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with something cool there because I think Smart Recruiter stays on its own here.
It's not their model. It's not, that's not the German way. I'm sorry. Amazon acquires Bee, an AI wearable that records everything you say. TechCrunch.com. Take a look at this. So I'm not shocked by this at all. But when I was reading it on TechCrunch, I'm like, I am kind of a bit concerned with the data privacy. So this one actually states we're recording everything you say. Like that's the bit with Bee. There's not like a clandestine, type of thing. No, we're recording everything you say. And I talk to myself a lot. So like that's going to be weird, like for me, but really kidding aside, like we said with IT, if they're recording everything you say and you say something off color or you say something, something like that, like can it be used against you? Like if you're wearing the wearable and you're not even at work and you use, some words or whatever, you just say something you're not supposed to, and it records that, can that be used against you as an employee?
I mean, if there's an expectation of privacy, probably not.
Right.
However, if you're, and maybe not work related, but if you're talking to someone and you're saying, this is how I'm going to bury this dead body,
100%.
and then you go and kill someone and they can pull that. Yeah.
You're looking at the positive. I like that. That's nice. I'm thinking about the negative of, I like talk like that. I talk like that all the time. It's like, I will never wear that wearable.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's weird. I just don't want to wear a watch. I haven't worn a watch in 15 years or more. I guess it's a pain in the ass. I don't know. All right. So research time. Let's talk research. So University of Phoenix 2025 Career Optimism Index. See, this is why I was being optimistic.
Not a good year. Not a good year for this study.
No, definitely not. So we're going to talk worker burnout for a minute, right? So we got to define worker burnout, number one, but it's at an all-time high, as in 51% all-time high. Honestly, I think that's a low number. I think it's much higher. And so that's why I want to define what burnout means, right? Is it just, I'm fed up, I'm sick of this company, or I'm mentally and physically, emotionally burnt out. I need to take a sabbatical for 6 months.
You're too young to get this reference, but Johnny Paycheck had a song called "Take This Job and Shove It." Yeah, that's burnout.
Yeah. So I don't even know who that is. Yeah. 1 in 5 say they lost control over their career path, and employers still think it's easier to hire new people than train the ones that they've got. So that's really interesting and very telling too. And AI. Workers using AI report a 25-point drop in burnout. in burnout
Okay.
and a 16-point boost in career control over non-users.
That tracks for me.
Yeah.
So because you're not feeling overwhelmed by the wave that's coming, you're jumping in and trying.
You're jumping in and you're excited to do your once boring job.
Right.
At least for another 12 months. And then
the TPS report. Yeah.
Exactly.
I can see that. That's interesting.
It's a university. Just go to their website, University of Phoenix. Fantastic report, actually. Pretty good. It's all slides. It's like 40 or 50 slides.
Bad year for it, but yes, good research. All right. 79% of U.S. workers say they have had a relationship with a coworker. In comparison, 32% say they have dated a boss or supervisor, according to a recent workplace romance in America.
Yeah, it feels about right.
From Blonde, and this was on Newsweek. So you go to newsweek.com. So first thing I'm thinking about as I'm reading this is, okay, how are they defining a relationship? I'm not trying to do a Bill Clinton. What is still.
I did not have.
Yeah. What's the definition of is? No, I'm not doing that bit, but it's like, what is a relationship? We go out to, we're single. We go out to a bar, we hook up, and then that's it. Like, is that a relationship? Like, what are they defining as a relationship is actually kind of.
Yeah. I have to look at it because, I mean, 79% had a relationship.
It's a big number.
32% say they've dated.
Yes. And yes. So what's the difference between those two things?
Right. Is it just a sexual thing? Like, hey, we're going to go and do our thing? Is it, I'm kind of attracted to you, but I'm not. I'm flirty. Like, what is it?
You, your sister, your friends, whatever. I see coworkers with benefits. I mean.
Coworkers with benefits. That sounds like a website.
Isn't that cool? Coworkers with benefits. All right.
You know what we're doing next round?
My hands are bloody with this shit from the 80s. Bloody.
No stories.
No. I know. I mean, bloody, because on all fronts, just bloody from those things. And thank God that none of this shit was had on video. So I'm very happy about that. But I do have two positive stories of couples who met at work. They dated, happily married. They were in different departments. They were peers, and they got together. They're still married. Like, so.
Yeah, there's one from.
It can work out.
Yeah, there's a couple that met at an old employer that I had, and they're married with multiple kids, living the life. And I can just remember people say, "Oh, that's never going to last. She's way out of his league." I mean, they got married back then. They're probably 15 years in at this point. So
good for them. Good for them. All right. Women held 46% of all U.S. managerial positions in 2023, up from 29% in 1980, according to a recent report by the Pew Research Center.
From 1980.
1980. Okay. So pewresearch.org, go look it up for yourself. So initially, that stat looks great. 46%.
No, it doesn't.
No. 46%. Focus on the first part.
Okay.
40% of managerial positions are held by women.
Okay.
Don't talk about anything else. That actually, like, okay, cool. We're okay. That's great. And then you do the math. And the math is from 1980 to 2023. That's 43 years and only a 17% gain. It's a 0.5% a year. Reminder, women make up roughly 50%, a little over 50% of the population. So at its current snail pace, it'll take about 2 more decades to equal the percentage of the population. So it's one of those things when you look at stats on a page, right? And you're like, well, 43%, fuck, man, we're okay. All right.
But the times have changed. So I think that number accelerates rather quickly now.
I hope so.
I think that's going to accelerate rather quickly. I don't think it's going to be another 43 years before we see it increase.
I'm going to take the under.
We don't have enough time in our life to measure this shit.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to take the under one, unfortunately.
Tell me about some fun. We got some funding news.
We do have some funding news. Sparrow.
Yeah. Kick us off.
Sparrow secures $35 million to expand its leave management platform. Yeah. The company will use the funds to scale its compliance-focused tech platform that streamlines employee leave for HR teams. And it's built in SF, so built in San Francisco.com. You can go read the article. So if you can get leave management right in California, because it's different than the federal, it's actually more intense in California. Shocking, not shocking. If you get leave management right there, then you can get it right in anywhere in the United States. So I'm interested. First of all, congratulations on the funding, but I'm interested to see what they do and what they can do internationally, and take that not just out of the United States, see what they can do globally.
Right.
So good for them.
Very nice. All right. So Ashby, our friends at Ashby, $50 million to scale the AI-powered hiring platform. So this is what happens when you take note for the people that are out there building today. This is what happens when you build the stack for sourcers, not just recruiters. You actually take into consideration the entire flow, the entire workflow between sourcing and recruiting. So they have, since their inception, they've nailed the fundamentals from speed, sourcing, recruiting, outreach, everything. Like, they haven't missed much at all. If I were still sourcing, this is what I'd be using today. So I love it. Congrats on the funding. Big things for these guys. I think they're headed down another decade of growth and big stuff, because
it's a Series D, and so it's a small Series D. So I'm concerned about that. And Ashby started as an analytics play, a recruiting analytics play, and then built all the other things on top of it that you mentioned. So I think because they started in analytics, and I think it just gets better analytically with AI over time. And I think everything that you said just helps them become.
It just gets better.
It just gets better. So.
And they're very much like Loxo, and there's a couple of others. They built the groundswell of support through recruiters and through the sourcers and eventually their managers and all that stuff. Their use case, a textbook use case on this, and they have done a really good job. So congrats to them.
Fable Security, startup focused on tackling human-related risk, has raised $31 million in funding. Fable's platform utilizes AI and behavioral science to help organizations reduce risky employee actions in real time, targeting areas like phishing and deepfake attacks. So this Business Wire, so you go look at it there. I like this play because of risk mitigation. Mm-hmm. So basically what it's going to do is run parallel, and if an employee is doing something risky, it's going to get them, autopilot on a Tesla. It's going to kind of autocorrect the behavior so that they don't do the risky thing that was right in front of them. So I love this play. So congratulations to them.
There we go.
All right, Wingspan. Sounds like a restaurant. It's not. It's a contractor management and payroll solutions company has raised $24 million. The company plans to use the new investment to scale its embedded contractor management platform and further its reach in the growing contractor market. So we've seen this before with payroll and other types of plays. So this is Wingspan .app. So you kind of look up if you want to look at the press release on it. I think it's just smart. To me, grow as fast as you can, get acquired by ADP, take the company public when the market comes back, whatever. But the contracting market, it's just a great market to go after because it's not like going away tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel like it always gets overlooked for some reason.
It does.
I don't know why, but it just doesn't get the love. Well, there we go. All right, Scrunch AI. There's a lot of AI stuff, which obviously. So raises $15 million to boost how brands show up in AI search.
Oh, interesting.
I like it. So I'm going to look at this from a recruiting lens. I'm a big fan here. This is a big deal because recruiters have, at least in our space, have spent a lot of years, probably the last decade, trying to be found online, right? How did your profile get found on LinkedIn? How does your profiles on all these other platforms get found here, your content here, and you're investing time in researching content and creating stuff. Brands as well. right? Recruitment marketing brands have suffered big time. They suffered big time over the years to try and be found. So anyhow, this is not an SEO play. This is about training AI to understand you, what you're doing, what your content is, and what your company does, and then be found based on what people are actually needing and wanting at the time. So the intent's going to be incredibly high. So I'm going to follow these guys. I put them on the tracker to follow them and see where they're going, and I'll reach out and see if we can actually talk to them because I like what they're doing.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. Last funding story we have for this week is Candor IQ raised 4.8 to modernize compensation and workforce planning with AI-powered tools for HR and finance teams. That's on candoriq.com. So you go look about that. So this is not as crowded of a space. Compensation software isn't as I don't know, like ATS's 1,500 of them. Comp software, you might have 30 or 40 players there. So it's not as crowded of as a market. And a lot of comp professionals are still using Excel. So you're not switching them from one comp software to another in general. You're moving them off Excel. Right. Microsoft technically is the largest compensation. Microsoft Excel is the largest compensation software player out there. So I love it. I mean, I think again, with AI and being able to give people advice on what's going on, both exteriorly to the company, but also internally. So highlight, okay, here's our pay gaps. Here's our, compression. Here's the things we need to fix. AI will be able to do that a hell of a lot faster and better than Excel.
For sure.
So good for them. I love the name too, Candor IQ.
Yeah, Candor is cool.
They're talking about transparency a lot on the website. Transparency.
There you go.
I like that.
Makes sense. Well, that wraps us up for the week, man. We blitzed through that pretty quickly. So thank you all for listening and watching. We will see you on the road. Well, we still got a couple of weeks left. We're doing an event in Dallas. So we'll be there. And then at HR Tech, we can announce this now officially. We probably should have announced it in the beginning, but maybe we'll talk about it later. We are going to be live at HR Tech, but we are going not in a vendor booth like we normally do. We are officially the podcast network, the official podcast network of HR Tech 2025. So if you are there, come and see us. We'll be in that really big booth somewhere in there. I think it's in the front of the expo this year, at the HR Executive Expo. So
they'll have a quiet. What's the theater?
We'll have a theater. I'm not sure if it's a silent theater anymore. I think they're just broadcasting out. So that would be pretty cool. The world can hear what we say. If not, there will be a theater, and it'll be a silent theater with some headphones. You come in and listen and take a nap as you listen to our voices. But no, for real, we'll be there. It's exciting. And we're going to be there the first night walking around as well, doing some man on the street stuff, which is going to be pretty fun. So we shall see you all there.